You see what I'm saying? And I don't have an issue with paying the support fund. The reason why I'm the way I am with those kind of situations, I pay my support that year that the baby's born. Move the money to the account, let it, and it automatically disperses a certain amount of money per each month. So with him, I noticed over the years like it developed because I blamed it on his mom for a long time, but it's not his mother, it's him. Like I've gone places where he was at, and he left.
Fifth, you love your son?
I used to. You ask yourself how long. A complicated question would say, "How long can you love something that don't love you back?"
Mm.
You see, so in this experience, you look and you say, I didn't think success would cost me my firstborn, but it's the situation it is. Like my grandfather would say, it rattled like a snake. If it slithered like a snake, is it a snake or do you need to be bit? Right? And that's the Aiken, South Carolina, and this the country, she'll say. And what he keeps saying is every time you see the boy, he's show up with somebody you got a problem with. What does that day? People will always try to make relationships on a common bond of disliking someone. Like, be friends with you because your enemy is my enemy.
Yeah.
And he sees himself that way. To the extent where he's actually taking pictures with Preem's son or doing different things that, and you go, well, I'm like, I don't even understand where your motivation comes from with these things, but.
Can you excuse any of that because of how young he is?
No, he's 23 years old, 24 years old. It's not a baby no more, it's a grown man. See, I look at you as you grown, your decisions that you make as you start to pass what they would have did to us. They would have charged me like an adult at 15. So at 23, it's like you grown in my head. My homeboys, they had their babies at 15. At that point in the neighborhood, that was when you actually got into, we started the sexual thing. You know what I'm saying? It started to really get into, and everybody 15, 16 years old was the point that he was having kids. So like I was super late with him because I didn't want to have, something that I didn't actually connect with because we both was babies, at that point. And then later, I mean, all these things don't turn out the way you want it. Life just doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? And
what would have to happen for you guys to have a relationship again? That's the last question I'll ask about it.
I don't know. I ran into him one time. This is ill, right? Right after, it was 2 months before his support was finished, right? And I'm standing at the desk talking to the jeweler, and he had a small diamond chain, 2 small diamond chains, trying to get a bigger diamond chain, right? Trading them, see how much you get that one. And I walked in, he goes, "Oh, you have somebody like watching me?" I said, "Nah." He said, "Oh, so coincidence?" He said, "Yeah, coincidence." Then he turned back to the jeweler. He goes back to talking to the jeweler, and he's like, "Nah, I can't do that." Now I'm like, because of how much the jeweler's asking him for, so he can't do it. But he doesn't realize that he's at the booth negotiating, putting 2 small diamond chains back to get a bigger diamond chain with the money I'm mailing him. His mother never had a job. She didn't do nothing. I would have questioned whether I was wrong if she did something after the fact. She genuinely did not want to do nothing. This girl looked me in my face and told me, like, she was like, "You bought Mike Tyson's house?" I said, "Yeah."